Hey, Christy here, the comeback mentor. What if your personality isn't the problem? It's just been bent, misshapen, squished by life in ways that your spirit never agreed to. Your spirit is deeper than your personality, and we're going to dive into that today. A lot of women, a lot of people in general assume their personality is exactly who they are. That the explanation for every reaction, every pattern, and every choice. And I get it. I myself invested in personality typology certifications to be better at mentoring. And I mean, they're spot on. I believe in it, but it's not the full story. Your personality is God-given, yes, but the version that we have right now, that you're carrying today, has been shaped by all of the experiences, the expectations, the you're too much, you're too little, the wounds, the negative and the positive things that have happened to you, and those long seasons maybe where you felt alone or you're just surviving day by day. Your spirit, though, the part that God breathed into you, is still pure, it's still steady, and it's untouched by that portion. The gap in between those two parts of you, your personality and your spirit, your God-given spirit, your God-given personality, is what we're going to explore today. As we get into our conversation today, if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, go ahead and subscribe. You don't want to miss an episode of Comeback Conversations as we just dive into and talk about rebuilding your life from a healed, whole, God-led place and getting after those dreams. So, for the next few minutes, I want to show you the real difference between personality and spirit and why that matters for your comeback season. And one simple way to recognize which one is leading your life right now. Personality has been treated like your sole identity for so long that most women don't think to question it. And this happens inside of my Renewed Heart Dreamers group as the ladies share. Labels are huge. Um, we experience that from the time that we're very small till, all through adulthood. Introvert and extrovert. How do we describe ourselves? I say that I'm mostly an introvert and I gravitate over to extrovert whenever I need to. I've labeled myself overthinker, firecracker, peacemaker, perfectionist. I had somebody inside of my group today say that they're still struggling with being a perfectionist. And all of those words start to feel like they're a destiny instead of just a descriptor. Hear that again, because there's a difference in the type of labels that we're talking about. Destiny versus descriptor. It's okay to describe, but it's not okay to make it your destiny. Personality wobbles. It reacts, it shifts, it gets shaped by the positive and negative. It gets shaped by moments that bruised you, seasons that stretched you, um, and patterns that you had to adopt just to get through life. Were you molded and made to be a different personality in your childhood in order to please your peers? Did that happen while you were in the school system? Does that happen in your relationships? And we inadvertently do that because we want, in some cases, we want people to be better. We know that they can be a better version of themselves. Your spirit, however, doesn't fracture. It doesn't take on the shape of your circumstances. It stays rooted in what God actually created you to be. And when I walk with women in comeback seasons, this is usually the first turning point. They realize their personality may be tired, reactive, or bent, but their spirit is still steady. Picture your personality as a stained glass, colorful, detailed, and shaped by the hands and moments that formed you. Beautiful yet fragile. Your spirit is it's the light behind it. The glass might shift, it might crack, it might be rearranged by things that never should have touched it. But the light is still shining, still steady, and still true. Most women try to fix the glass when what they really need to do is reconnect with the light. Think about the last time you reacted in a way that surprised you. I can think of one specifically, and where you walked away thinking, that did not feel like me. Um, I was at a basketball game with my oldest daughter, and the parents of the opposing team was encouraging their child to take my child out. And I went from 0 to 360 in a heartbeat, telling them any number of things that you can come up with, and then realizing once the moment had passed that I didn't like who I was in that moment, and apologized to the parent in front of me. But that stemmed from some trauma attached to my personality. That moment was, I felt like a failure in my identity, but it was a moment of clarity as well. You and I witnessed the gap between my personality reacting in that moment and the spirit of myself when I came to my senses, whispering to me that this isn't who I really am. My personality took over because there was damage there. Once you start noticing that gap, you stop confusing your reactions with your identity. And that, my friends, is where your comeback begins. So carry this sentence with you during this week, and especially now that we're in the holiday season, because it can be easy to get triggered by interactions, words, movements, things that you don't mean to take the wrong way. My personality is loud, but my spirit is true. Not meaning that you're overt in your personality, just that your personality may be loud right now, wanting to react, but your spirit is true. And focusing on the spirit of you will help you get to the point where you can um, deal with your personality and kind of control it, we'll say. Say it when you feel like your reactions are going to be off, when maybe some old patterns that you thought you had laid to rest try to pull you back, and say it when your emotions feel bigger than your clarity, because my spirit is true is the key. Let me remind you that your real life is rooted in your spirit. not the surface level habits that happened in life and shaped you. Um, I really would love to go deeper into this topic, but that's too much for one day. We will have, we'll go a little deeper next week. How about that? And we'll talk more about how your spirit recognizes someone else's spirit, even if your personalities are clashing. And that's where your discernment will sharpen, your relationships will shift, and God starts positioning you for what's next. So, you've been shaped, you've been stretched, and you've been tested. It's time to rise into your next chapter and take your comeback by control. Have a good one until we meet again. Bye for now.